Hey,
All right.
Kevin.
Hey, how you
Hey, how you
doing?
doing?
Good. How about you, buddy?
I'm
I'm
great. I'm
great.
great.
I'm
Things are
great.
going
Things are
good.
going good.
Oh, hey, Kevin, you got an echo
Oh,
because I
okay.
think
Oh,
you're
okay.
logged
Hold
in
on. One second.
twice.
Yep, I got
Yep, I got it.
Okay.
Is that better?
When you said you got it, you got it.
Yeah. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
Um, Tom and Natalie,
it.
should we
Audio.
wait for Nancy to join?
I can message her quickly. I know that she just completed a meeting back in January. I hired for the Cincinnati territory and trained, and she was just completed a meeting with the my Cincinnati successor. So let me see where she is.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Tom, while you're listening in, I'll kind of give you a quick overview, if you don't mind, of this thing that we're talking about today.
Sure,
Um,
sounds great.
yeah, the For Your Health program at Channel 4 and NBC4 is a station project that they launched over 10 years ago. And the whole purpose is really to try and educate their viewers on topical health issues. And the way they go about that is they partner with local practices in the viewing area on a category exclusive basis. So we can take on a couple different practices per year, but it's a fair amount of work, as you'll see, that the station puts into this. And the whole idea is we're just trying to connect you and your practice with our viewers and at the same time educate them about, vascular medicine, all the things that your practice can do for our viewers, and hopefully then turn them into patients for you.
That's a great idea. Vein disease is a vastly under-recognized aspect of healthcare. So I'd
Hmm.
certainly appreciate that kind of opportunity.
Yeah, it sure seems like it. There's, everything from abdominal aortic aneurysms, right, Tom, to basic spider veins. I mean, you guys cover a lot of territory, don't you?
Yes, although we really don't address the aortic aneurysms and such much. That's more of a hospital-based vascular surgery practice. Our focus is more on lower extremity vein disease, particularly.
Hmm. Yeah. Do you do
Okay.
anything with shunts, by the way?
I'm sorry, with what?
Shunts.
No, 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 no. That again would be more a hospital surgical based issue. There's
Interventional radiology, probably.
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah.
The reason I ask is that even my dad has a shunt in his leg, and it was because he had vascular disease in his leg, and boy, it really helped him.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah. But well, great. Let me walk you guys through this if you don't mind. Um, Basically, the concept is each partner receives your own 30-second on-air messages. Bear with me. Sometimes I'll slip and call them commercials. I don't mean to. It's just my TV background. But
Sure.
really, we like to think of them as educational messages. And these 30-second messages that Kevin would have produced locally at the station for you, one unique thing about the For Your Health program is we provide an endorsement essentially from the station. We call it an implied endorsement or a little tag inside the message itself from the TV station, which we think our viewers recognize and see that message and go, you know what, that must be a good vascular practice because NBC4 is endorsing. And then the station's website, we have a directory page set up in which you would be listed as the only vascular practice inside there with links to your
Yeah.
website. Does
All
that
right.
make sense, Tom?
Sure.
Okay. And then along with this, we have a number of other things that we've bundled in. Um, but really, the goal on this is to really try and make it um, as far reaching and reach as many different people and give you a platform to be able to discuss the practice and all the different conditions that you treat as well. This slide that I have up right now that you can't see is just a little bit about me and my background. I've done these programs now with well over 100 TV stations across the US and worked
Mhm.
with over 4,000 practices. But really, it's the work in the vascular area. And so we've done a number of vein practices around the country, and I'm happy to share any of those 30-second messages from everywhere from Nashville to Seattle with you, so you could kind of get some ideas about what other practices are doing to help grow their practice.
Sure, that would actually be very helpful.
Good, good. And I was kind of looking through some of those this morning, and there's a couple I forgot about that are pretty catchy, that had nice messages, pretty simple messages.
Yeah.
This slide is all about the station. And really, what we wanted to do, and Natalie's already seen this, but what we wanted to do, Tom, was be able to kind of give you an idea about the opportunity, about how many people are watching the TV station, both on air and online. We're pretty much the number one newscast in a lot of areas, in a lot of the local newscasts. We have over 1 million different viewers tuning us in here in Central Ohio every week. And we've got a ton of web traffic. As a result of all that on-air news viewership, a lot of people go to our website. We've got 19 million page views and over 2.5 million, I believe it is, what we call unique visitors logging onto the station's website. And a lot of that has to do with the 57 hours of local news we do each week. So really, there's a good opportunity to reach a large swath of people. I was curious, Natalie, I think we talked about this before, but the profile, and Tom, I'd be curious to get your take on this too. The profile of the typical patient, um, is it somebody 35 plus?
Yes.
Okay.
However, we do have and kind of that, and Dr. Doyle may agree or disagree. Kind of where we are going is to target, younger census as well.
Okay.
Um, we kind of want to almost in my, now obviously I'm not a provider, I'm just a nurse, so I think that we almost want to bring the under recognized venous disease to like a preventative medicine. I know I do. I think that it's, we venous disease is like Dr. Doyle said, and phlebology, I guess, would be the medical, what we would call Dr. Doyle a phlebobologist. It's so underdiagnosed that when you finally get to a provider, you're already having like a major issue. So in my, I guess, healthcare mindset, I almost want it to be like an annual screening, if that makes sense. Dr. Doyle, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I get the concept. So it's hard to come up with any one exact profile because venous disease
Right.
is something that kind of affects everyone gradually over the course of their lives, obviously to varying degrees, depending on various risk factors. By the time people notice what it's doing and the symptoms that it's causing, typically it is when you're a little bit older, often in your 30s, 40s, or beyond, often after a pregnancy or various other conditions that can exacerbate the problems with the veins. So yes, there's a tremendous preventative value to it, and often simply to get at least one initial ultrasound screening just to see where you stand is a good general health idea. So I don't know if we'd ever get to the point where everybody comes in once a year if they
Well,
don't have
no,
disease, but yeah.
you know what I mean.
Sure, sure.
To
There's
catch it
both,
early.
yeah, there's both therapeutic and preventative aspects to it. And the other message we'd want to get across is that it is not merely cosmetic. I mean, there certainly is a cosmetic feature to it with varicose veins and such, but there's a significant therapeutic effect to it in terms of pain, swelling, wound healing, restless leg, cramps, all kinds of other symptoms that occur from chronic venous stasis, which is essentially the primary condition we treat.
Um, Natalie, I don't know if I sent you a YouTube link to a video that we did in Bakersfield,
Yes.
California. Did I send you that one where the guy
Yeah,
riding
and
the horse?
Scott and I also viewed that video.
Okay.
My previous director, do you remember him?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
We viewed that and we were ready to go with this deal, except like we had not had the opportunity to share it with Dr. Doyle, and then there were tons of turnover within my company, and I'm just getting it to where I can finally pull everyone together and get this plan going. So I'm really excited about this, and I am sorry for all the confusion on our end.
No worries. No problem. I would imagine it's somewhat challenging to create a platform, so to speak, and get people to come in for preventative screenings. But I think the idea would be don't wait, right? Don't wait till till you're really experiencing that horrible pain. Is that,
Absolutely.
yeah? Okay. Because it generally is most of the time, isn't it, where the patient feels pain and that's what causes them to come and see you?
Well, they're
Pain is one of the symptoms that
correct.
can indicate it, but often it's things like swelling, restless leg, or visible appearance of veins. It's
Okay.
so gradual in onset that people often think that that's just the way their legs feel. And interestingly, once you treat it, people say, "Wow, my legs feel so much better than I never realized that that they were bothering me that to that degree." So yeah, so there is an aspect of that. It's hard to say exactly what the first presenting symptom will be because it varies a lot from patient to patient. But pain and visible findings and swelling are some of the ones.
And
Okay.
also just Dr. Doyle, let's not forget patients that have been seeing a wound care clinic for 6, 9,
Yeah.
12, 18 months with stalled wounds that have plateaued. We need to be able to realize that we can look at this from a venous standpoint, increase circulation, blood flow,
Oops, I think I
oxygen.
lost audio.
Okay. Okay.
You guys hear me?
Oxygenated. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you,
Yeah.
Natalie.
We hear you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we hear you,
I
Natalie.
I
Dr.
got you
Doyle, are
back.
you there?
Yeah, I've got you back. Thanks.
Okay, good. So we can bring that oxygenated blood and increase circulation from the venous standpoint to the wound so that we can see significant improvement in the stages and healings of the wound. That's also extremely important, correct, Dr. Doyle?
Absolutely.
So those patients that are suffering from wound care, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Boy. Yeah, there's a lot to learn, isn't there, for the average person?
Yeah, it's sort of unfamiliar territory.
Mhm.
Wound care patients in particular, there are lots of studies out there that show that taking care of venous insufficiency improves your wound healing as well, if not better, than hyperbaric oxygen treatment. So it's definitely a big step that should be looked into if anyone has any sort of ankle ulcers, foot ulcers, leg ulcers. They definitely should have a vein evaluation.
And there are also numerous patients due to payers. And when I say payers, insurance companies or pre existing health conditions that are not candidates for the hyperbaric chamber.
Right. Right. I can imagine. And plus, even the hyperbaric chamber, that's increasing the blood oxygen level. But if the flow of blood is poor in the legs or the feet or the ankle, and you could get that improved through vascular procedure, that's even more important, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, generally,
100%.
yeah,
Almost
generally
like
yes.
fixing the plumbing, right?
Right. And
Yeah.
often what people don't realize is you have to worry about the blood flow in, which is the arterial flow, and that's the thing that people most commonly think about. But you also have to worry about the blood flow out. And that's where the vein disease comes in. Because if the veins aren't allowing the blood to return efficiently, the blood literally slows down, and then the tissue has more time to build up metabolites and lose oxygen. So taking care of the veins allows the blood to flush out better. And that's very, very important, almost as important as getting the blood in there in the first place.
Got it. Got it. You know, maybe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Natalie and Tom, that we want to kind of maybe fast forward and start talking about what your messages should say, right? And would we be at that point, or do we still need to discuss this with Nancy, or how does that go?
Dr. Doyle.
Yeah, I think obviously we would need to discuss it with Nancy, just because once you get to the point where the financial decisions are involved, that does become more of a corporate executive level decision. But certainly we're at the stage where we can start making that call. I guess Nancy didn't make it to the meeting, but we would certainly touch base with her and try to get that answer for you as soon as we can.
And I cannot get a hold of her via Teams or text. I reached out in both facets with no response.
No problem.
Okay.
I think if I play a 30-second message, it's probably going to be kind of pointless because neither one of you can see it, right? But we can email you YouTube links so you could kind of see the examples that we have.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, and this 30-second example I was going to play was from one of our long-term ophthalmology partners in the For Your Health program. So you could just see how the station tags or gets the station's call letters to get behind the partners, right? Which I think is a really important aspect. Your 30-second messages obviously would be so different than that ophthalmology practice, but the commonality would be that the tag, right? The implied endorsement from the station.
Sure.
Okay. And then another really important part to me is not only the 30-second messages, but then just our coverage area. We cover a large geographic area. And I think, Natalie, when we talked about this before, correct me if I'm wrong, when we looked at our coverage map, which covers, a lot of central Ohio, all the way from Franklin County, Crawford County, you name it. We cover it in central Ohio. We're on all the cable systems, all the satellite systems, all the streaming solutions, and of course over the air as well, which just means when somebody's living in this, geographic area we call central Ohio, our viewing area, they'll be able to see your messages on channel 4 because we're on all those systems. So we have 100% coverage throughout the market.
Yes, we did discuss that. And you're also reaching numerous outlying rural areas. We discussed that, remember?
Yeah, and we felt, correct me if I'm wrong, Natalie, and we felt that some of those outlying areas would be good for those folks to be able to see that message, because then they'll come into your office in the
And the rule, I always pronounce that wrong. It's a health desert. However, where our office is for the northern counties, such as Delaware, Union, Morrow, Marion, Crawford, it is a straight shot down the interstate. And we actually have seen from my facet, an increase of providers, which there are not many in Morrow County,
Wow.
they are referring to our office. I visited an office in Marengo, Ohio a couple weeks ago that they did refer prior to me even making it to. So that was a good way in for me.
Okay, good. So it seems like there would be a good fit with our coverage area, right? And the offices.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I agree. Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
And then
sure.
this next slide just talks about how easy it is to find it on the station's website. And it's on our mobile site as well, because we've got a lot of, traffic there as well. And then we, of course, would have you guys listed as our category exclusive sponsor or partner on the web inside our directory page. This next slide really talks about the number of times the ad is viewed, or the 30-second message is viewed on a monthly basis and over the course of the year. And the schedule that we have, which we call a sample schedule of your 30-second messages, delivers over 859,000 views per month. That's over 10 million views throughout the year. And the schedule
Yeah.
itself is very customizable. Kevin will customize that with you. Once
I
we start
will.
to talk more about demographics and strategy and all that, but we
Sure.
built in a lot of morning news
Hmm.
in the mornings.
I'm getting a lot of background noise.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it might be
Here,
me.
Kevin, are you
I'll mute. Is
talking?
that better? Yeah, I'll
Okay,
mute now. Let me see if that helps.
Can you still hear it, Natalie?
absolutely. Yeah.
You still hear the background?
No, I do not. It's way
Okay.
better now. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Thanks. Sorry about that.
Okay,
I
sorry about
wasn't
that.
sure. My wife was making some coffee. Okay.
Oh my gosh, no, it
Yeah,
was.
it's like 7:25 out here, right?
I
So
know it, and
yeah,
I'm
she was
so
putting
thankful
on a
for
fresh
you.
pot, and I thought maybe it was that. Sorry.
No, no. And I'm also switching from my car, running back into my house. So I was unaware if it was my
Okay.
connection to the Wi-Fi. So I apologize.
Well, thank you. Thanks for your patience.
So how would the logistics of actually creating the spot occur? Would it be
Oh,
something where
what
I
a
would
good
go down to
question,
the
Tom.
studio,
Thanks
or
for asking. So the way we generally produce 30-second messages or any on-air messages with a local business, and certainly one of our health partners, we would first start with a script. So we would start with on the left-hand side might be the audio description of the message, and on the right-hand side might be the video description. And we would bring that out for your approval, your uh, changes that you would want to make, right? Then our production team would come out actually and shoot in the field and get the raw footage that we would need to put the message together. Then we would go back to the station, edit it, and then, of course, bring it back to you and show it to you before it airs. And you have um, nothing hits the air without your approval.
that sounds great.
Yeah. So it's a pretty simple process. Kevin's really good at it. I've seen him put together messages lots. Hey, Natalie,
Hi.
how are you? Good to see you.
Oh, hey,
Thursday.
Natalie's
Yeah.
in.
Does
Okay.
that make sense, Tom?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And then the video production package that's included. This is one of the nice things about this For Your Health program is that Kevin and the team have it all bundled together. So there's no hidden costs. You'll get at least 2 of these 30-second messages produced throughout the year. And then we're going to talk a little bit about these daytime Columbus segments. It's our lifestyle show that we do in the middle of the day. What is it, 12:30 to 1:30, Kevin? You're on mute, Kev.
Sorry. Yes, absolutely. We can
Is it 12:30 to
customize
1:30,
it.
Kevin?
So we have daytime Columbus. Yes, it's 12:30 and 1:30. Sorry
Okay,
about
yeah. So those segments, Tom and Natalie, we've already shown you this, so I know you remember, but they're 3 to 5 minutes in length. And they can be a sit-down interview style segment where members of your team would come in. Sometimes we've had, Kevin, haven't we had multiple people come in right to the studio, whether it's sometimes patients can come in, sometimes members
that.
of the
Yeah, we can.
staff, right?
Yeah, we can have as many as 3 people on set at one time. So we want to have a doctor on there, maybe a patient, then maybe Natalie could come on. We'd love that, and just have a really in-depth discussion about what a viewer would experience coming out to your practice for sure.
I'm not sure just because of the HIPAA laws, if we could have a patient, but definitely I know that Dr. Doyle, myself, and our nurse practitioner, Kayla,
Mhm.
could be a part of, but I'm not sure with the legalities with HIPAA. Um, I'm not sure about that.
That makes
We've
sense.
definitely had patients on before though.
Yeah, it's
So I
probably
mean,
just a
they may
matter
have to
that they
sign a
would.
release.
Yeah, exactly, something like that if need be.
Yeah.
That's a strategy we'd need to sit down and think about and go from there. But that's certainly something we could discuss.
Yeah, it might be a matter of release forms, right? Where the patients would sign release
Yeah.
forms. But um,
Yep.
and I'm going to play just a snippet, and then Tom, we can send these via YouTube links. Would that be okay, Natalie? I'll send them to you and Tom and Nancy.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
When was the last time you felt empowered when it came to your health care? Avena Women's Care is a medical practice that realizes they're seeing women at very important times in their lives, right? They're happiest, sometimes they're scariest, certainly they're most vulnerable. And in this sponsored segment, we are learning more about the level of trust you'll find at Avena from Dr. Leah Adkins. Great to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me today.
So I want to talk about your approach then, obviously, at Avena. What is it that you're striving?
So when Dr. Adkins was on the set for a number of minutes with Robin, they talked about locations. We showed a map to kind of support the conversation. We showed some background footage that we had already shot for that particular practice to kind of correspond with the conversation and the things that Robin was asking Dr. Adkins and she was answering. But it's really the neat thing about these segments are once they're done, we want you guys to get some use out of them, right? To be able to push them out through Facebook, put them on YouTube, put them on your own website. Am I right about all that, Kevin?
Absolutely. We could send you actually a copy of the video, and you can upload it to your website, up to your Facebook. And it's really good because it gives you an opportunity to have a long form discussion about things that are really pertinent to what the viewer is experiencing. Someone that's trying to decide whether or not they're going to have one of these procedures. It really gives you an opportunity to go into great depth and talk through it.
One area that I could see using this, that we've seen practices use it over the years, is as a patient sees one of your 30-second messages or one of our on-air promos and they call into the practice, and then maybe they want just a little more information. Boy, if you had this on a YouTube channel, you could literally send that super lightweight email, that link out to that potential.
Really?
Yeah, and then they could watch it if they're convenient. And then, like
Our
with referral sources
conversion
too,
rate.
Natalie, couldn't it
Mhm.
be used for those?
Yes, it would. I think it would really positively um, solidify our conversion rate.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense to me. And then one of the other things that we do is we run these things called promos. All that is a fancy TV term for free commercial. Okay. I say that jokingly because we just run these for our partners in the program. And when these run, they run at no charge to you. They run out of our inventory. And they're nice. They're our way of saying who our partners are in the For Your Health program.
For Your Health is your family's wellness resource from NBC4 and NBC4i, linking you to providers you can trust like Mid-Ohio Eye, board-certified ophthalmologists and optometrists committed to personalized eye care. Find your For Your Health provider at NBC4i.com.
So I know you might not have been able to see that, but it's a little 15-second message, and we run those throughout the day, don't we, Kevin? I mean, they could fall at just about any time, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We run those on a 24-hour rotator, so you get those falling in prime, you get them in falling in high-profile sports, they fall in news. So yeah, those run all day.
And then this slide, really, we're almost done, I promise, is about our digital capabilities, meaning Kevin's got a lot of digital resources at his disposal at the station. And so we just want to be able to give you the opportunity to tap into our online audience, which is huge with 19 million page views a month. And the way we do that generally is we run what we call display or banner ads, but we also run pre-roll ads, meaning they're little video ads, 10 or 15 seconds generally, that run before a news story runs on the website. Those can be very nice or very effective, I should say, and strategic. But there's other digital capabilities that Kevin can share with you too and make adjustments throughout the year. So as you see a need for reaching a certain segment, a lot of times we can do that digitally. And then this is our summary page. So everything's included for the $6,000 a month. And the nice thing about the way NBC4 has this set up, which all my stations did, The dollars that you're spending go towards getting your buying you more messages. So in other words, we're not charging for the video production. We're not charging for the promos, but we do charge for the 30-second or 15-second messages when those run, and then the display or banner ads that run. But primarily, it's your TV messages that you're really paying for, which is good. It gets you more bang for your buck, so to speak. So I
Sounds good.
apologize. Yeah, go ahead,
Is
Tom.
there a
I'm sorry, Tom, could you
months that
repeat
you'd
that?
sign up for? So when you sign up for the $6,000 a month, essentially subscription fee,
Yep.
is there a minimum number of months that you would sign up for that?
Yeah, it's a 12-month commitment. And our goal, to be
Okay.
honest with you, Tom, is to make sure that it works so well in that first 12 months that there's no doubt that you're going to renew like several of our partners have for, 5, 8, 10 years. But we need to prove it to you.
Sure.
And yeah. So I really, to me, the best part is the category exclusivity, to be able to block out other vascular practices from doing this. Tom or Natalie, do you guys have any other questions or anything else that maybe we went over that we weren't clear about that?
No, I do not. I just want, please, the transcript to be emailed to all of us, including our director of Venus operations.
Okay.
She's the ultimate, um, I guess, go-to for the for the financial aspect
Okay.
of it.
Okay.
Is
And that's
that
Nancy,
Nancy?
right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be
Okay.
Nancy, and I certainly will have some discussions with her and see what we can do to try to move it forward.
Great.
I think
Great.
it's really beneficial, like my former supervisor discussed with you and Dave both. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
hopefully get this ball rolling. And I
Okay.
thank
This
you
is
again
great.
for both of your times. And I hope both of you had a wonderful holiday season. And again, I apologize for the confusion on our end.
Absolutely
Oh,
not a
it's
problem.
fine. Yeah, it's fine, Natalie. Thank you.
Yeah.
All
I
righty.
look forward
Thank
to
you, guys.
helping.
Definitely appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thank you, Tom. Nice to see you again, Natalie.
Okay, great. Take care. And
All right.
hopefully we'll be speaking soon. And I will stay in contact. And again, I'm going to try to reach Nancy and kind of let her know to look for this.
Okay,
That's
wonderful.
great.
We'll
Thank you.
reach out. Kevin and I'll get this in the next few minutes. We'll try and get this.
Okay, thank you so much for all of your time. And thank you, Dr. Doyle.
Absolutely. Have a good day,
Yes,
everybody.
thank you both.
Okay,
Okay,
bye-bye.
Thank you both. We'll see you
bye.
later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.